Hello, this is Homeschool Chat with Katie, Preschool Edition. And today we are number 5 in a series entitled Preparing for the School Year. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about manners. We're going to talk about your student expressing him or herself in a healthy way. And we're going to talk about mimicking real life. And believe it or not, these things are actual things that preschool classes teach. You ever heard of the expression, everything you ever needed to know, you learned in kindergarten? Well, it begins with preschool, right? So let's begin. So for manners, what we are talking about is listening without interrupting, saying please and thank you. By expressing yourself in a healthy way, we mean using words, not just reacting emotionally, not grunting, not, things like the handout that says, give me that, but doesn't say any words. So we're talking about actually helping your child to communicate. And when we talk about mimicking real life, we're talking about real life play. So kitchen skills, you maybe play house, or you play dress up so that you're learning how to button buttons and tie ties. And I don't really think that there's a huge high expectation of a beginning preschooler tying their shoe right away, right? But the fact that they want to do that is a good thing. And by the end of the school year, they may be able to tie their shoe. You don't know. Let's see, what else are we talking about here? Following directions, being able to do chores like feed the fish or go get something and bring it back. We're also talking about, as far as mimicking real life, we're talking about being able to work together as a team. So if you have a preschool child, they may not know how to work with many people to accomplish a goal. So there are some videos that you might use to teach your student manners. You can look through, there's some very good series. You can look through the Franklin series. Franklin is a very good little cartoon, Little Bear and Franklin. A very good cartoon that they talk about manners and they deal with real life little kid things. Little Critters is another series that's very good. Little Critters comes in just like Little Bear and Franklin. They come in a book series as well as a TV series. And the Bernstein Bears is another option for you. There is a show on YouTube called Tab Time, T-A-B Time, and there's an episode called Good Manners. I really liked that one. It's educational videos for kids, I think, is its category. And they talk about good manners and best behavior, good habits for kids, and there's a song. Songs work really, really well with preschool children. I believe that songs work well with students in general, unless they hate music and they hate singing, because it helps them to remember. It doesn't put the pressure on them to remember things. They just learn the song. Barney the Dinosaur, that is still available. It is, how do I say this? There are a lot of people that really like Barney, and Barney has, for my children, has taught a lot of very useful things and very cute little songs. Watching the TV show was very not relaxing for me at all. But there was nothing wrong with the show at all, and it taught my kids a lot of really good things. So that is an option. Let's see. There is a Little Bear official YouTube site, if you can find it. There's also a tab time sharing episode. And like I said, the category is educational videos for kids, I believe. The Bernstein Bears has an episode that says, "Say please and thank you." Then there is a site on YouTube called Treehouse Direct. And let's see, they have a Clifford's Manners on that channel. It is a read aloud storybook for children. So if you have the Clifford's Manners book, you can read that to your child. If you don't, they can listen to it and watch the pages turn on the Read Aloud channel. And again, that's called Treehouse Direct. Bernstein Bears. So Bernstein Bears, if you haven't heard of it, it's spelled BERENSTAIN, Bernstein Bears. So there is an episode called Bernstein Bears Forget Their Manners on YouTube as well. Little Critters Manners is a read aloud that you can find on YouTube if you don't have the book. And it is found on a site called the Story Corner on YouTube. There's another read aloud on YouTube called Grandma's Blessings. And Grandma's has, I believe, an apostrophe, like Grandma apostrophe S in that name. And it's Little Critters Manners. Along with learning manners and expressing oneself in a healthy way, you want to teach mimicking real life to prepare your child for real life situations. And who doesn't want that, right? So some examples are kitchen skills, and I have some toys around me that are real life mimicking toys that children can play with. This is a little grocery cart. Sometimes there are toy grocery carts at grocery stores that little kids can follow you around it with their grocery cart and help with that. This is a real life table setting, I'm going to cook you dinner kind of a thing, and real life cleaning. Preschool kids like to do things with adults as well as play on their own. So if you're sweeping the kitchen floor, you will find that the preschooler will want to sweep with you. And that is perfectly normal, perfectly natural, and perfectly okay. Let's see. So following directions, and you want to teach your preschool student to follow directions, but in a fun way. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on your preschool student because, again, they're very little and they are emotional. Also, you can hurt their feelings without realizing it, and in hurting their feelings, it might actually have kind of a lasting effect. So you want to teach them how to follow directions in a fun way. So maybe you want them to go get a dishcloth out of the drawer. Well, what drawer is it in? Well, it's not the last one, but it's one up from the bottom one. That kind of thing. Just get your preschool child used to hearing directions and following directions. Doing chores. So by doing chores, what we're talking about is feeding a fish or taking your plate, fork, spoon, and knife to the counter, or throwing away your napkin. Things that preschoolers can do that is not difficult, right? Let's see. Working together kinds of mimicking real life situations and helping with directions and working together. Putting a puzzle together, maybe playing Lincoln Logs. It doesn't have to be necessarily with the teacher. If you have another preschool student that you're teaching, you can get both preschool children together to build something. But it helps. It helps when the teacher's there. It helps also because if there's any, contention, it can be solved immediately if the teacher is there. What are some other things here? Making a sandwich with the preschool child. That's a wonderful thing to do. You can actually do like an English muffin pizza. They can make the actual pizza. The cooking of it comes into play with the adult, of course. And of course you have to watch them because red sauce, spills. Let's see what else. Yeah, working together as a team to accomplish something. Phone etiquette is another thing. As children get older, they become more and more interested in the phone. So if the phone rings, you might like to let them start answering. And this is your cell phone, You might like to let them start answering, and they can answer in a way that's almost like either your family politeness, or even some little kids have been taught to answer the phone like a business. So like you would use your last name, like Smith's Residence, can I help you? Or Mom's phone, can I help you? Something like that. Independent bathroom use is something that's very important for a preschooler to learn. And dressing independently, which means buttoning buttons, snapping snaps, that kind of thing. Cleaning up after themselves, and also having a dress-up station is just fun. So that is about all that I have that I want to talk about today with as far as different classes. I guess you call them classes. Now what I would like to do is I would like to reiterate kind of the basic plan for your preschool school year, and then also how much attention span we're looking at. So for your basic plan, how should your preschool day look? So you have probably a 2.5 to 3 hour class day, unless a longer day is needed. Sometimes it's needed because parents work. It just depends. Plan on your student having about a 10-minute activity. If they're really interested in it, they may stay interested in a longer period of time, but plan on them having about a 10-minute activity, and plan on 5-minute attention span that can increase over time. Your goal, if you're teaching using workbooks, I suggest that you teach using all sorts of things. Then if you get through a workbook by the end of the school year, that's a good goal, right? And I'm not talking about a little tiny book that has 10 pages. I'm talking about like a workbook that's meant to be part of curriculum. The other thing that is a basic plan for preschool is in that 2.5 to 3 hour period, you're going to want a snack. You're going to want workbook time to work on a workbook. You're going to want art and writing time. You're going to want a story time. You're probably going to want music time. And you're going to want outside play time as well as inside play time to learn. So last thing that I want to reiterate from last time, the attention span of a child is 3 to 5 minutes times the age of the child on average. You may have a child that has a great attention span, and that's wonderful. 2-year-old has a 4 to 6 minute attention span generally. So you want your activity be between 4 and 10 minutes generally. And a 3-year-old has an activity attention span of 6 to 10 minutes. So that gives you an idea of how much time that you should spend on each subject that you do. So that is about all that I have for today. And I want to thank you for joining me at Homeschool Chat with Katie. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.